Hello, Shelley from Spin Cushions here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fun square called Adriatic. You can see there's lots of little floppy triangles, which I really like. Now you're either going to love this one or hate this one. It depends what you feel about working into chains, really. It's not too tricky. Once you know how to do a triangle, these are formed the same way all the way out, around. It's just we do different numbers of them in different rounds. So once you know how to do those, it's really quite simple. So I'm going to make mine all in one colour. I'll let you know if you need to do anything different if you're changing colours. So we're going to start with a magic circle or chain 3 starting chain, if that's what you, not chain 3 starting chain, chain 3 or 4 joined into a loop, if that's what you prefer to do. Okay, our first round is nice and simple. We've got a false stitch or chain 3 starting chain, and then 15 trebles UK or doubles US. So we're going to have 16 stitches in total in this first round. Nice and easy. So I will do 16 stitches and show you what happens next. Okay, 16 stitches done. Just need to pull my magic circle tight and join with a slip stitch to the top of your third chain starting chain or your false stitch if that's how you did it. Okay, so now we're going to make our first triangle. So a triangle is made by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in the second chain from the hook, this one here, we do a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Can you see how I'm working over the top 2 strands and just into that bottom one? Then in the next chain, just under that bottom loop there, a half treble UK, half double US. And then in that last, the very first chain, a treble UK or a double US. That's it. That's how you do a triangle. You'll get used to doing lots of those. Then we're going to do skip 3 stitches. So that's the one we slip stitch into. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch. And then we're going to do another triangle. So I'll do it one more time so you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't do your chains too tight. Then into that bottom loop of the second one from the hook, a double crochet UK, single crochet US. In the next chain, a half treble UK, half double US. And in the last one, a treble UK or a double US. We're going to skip 3 stitches, slip stitch, and another triangle. So 2 more triangles to do, and I'll show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so my triangles are all done. Now I just need to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. And this is actually the slip stitch where we joined up our round before. Excuse my horrible fingernail. So that's our second last stitch. This is our first stitch, and this is our slip stitch where we joined up last time. So either in that slip stitch, which is a bit tricky, or in the stitch that we joined up into, do a slip stitch to finish off the round. Okay, so now round 3, we're going to do twice as many triangles this time. We're going to start with a triangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to chain 3. Okay, and now we're going to do another triangle. So chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet UK, single US in the second chain from the hook, then a half stitch, then a full stitch. Treble UK, double US. Okay, so we've got a triangle, chain 3 and another triangle. We're going to skip the triangle of this round, and in that slip stitch, or the same place as that slip stitch, doesn't matter which, you're going to do another slip stitch. Okay, so now you've got a triangle, chain 3, skip the triangle. So we do that 3 more times, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. I just need to skip this triangle and join with a slip stitch to that slip stitch from the round before. Alright, have a little bit of a rest from triangles now. So chain 4 starting chain, or a longer false stitch. Then chain 5, 2, 3, oops, 3, 4, 5. Skip the triangle, and in this 3 chain space we do a double crochet UK, single crochet US, then chain 5, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next triangle and do a double treble UK, or a triple US in that slip stitch between the triangles, or bit fiddly to get into it first, but it's only 1 stitch, that's all good. So that's what we do all the way around. Chain 5, stitch in the 3 chain space, chain 5, then a double treble UK or a triple US in the slip stitch. So I will do that all the way around and show you what happens next. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats here. I've done my last chain 5. I have to skip that triangle and then join up with a slip stitch to the 4th chain of your starting chain, or your false stitch if you did one of those instead. Okay, so that's given us the framework of a square. Don't worry about the triangles being forwards and back. We'll sort that all out at the end. Alright, the next round is all double crochets UK, single crochets US. So we start with a stitch in the same place we did our slip stitch. Then we do 5 in the 5 chain space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 in the next stitch, 5 in the next 5 chain space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the next stitch we do a stitch, chain 2 and a stitch. So if you do that all the way around, I'll show you what happens next. Okay, I've done my stitches all the way around. I just need to do a stitch in the same place as our first stitch, which is this stitch here. Now I'm going to chain 1 and pop this scrap of yarn in the gap, and then join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US, and that scrap of yarn will come in handy a little bit later on. Alright, now we've got another round of triangles. So we've got quite a few triangles to do this time around. So we start with 2 times we do this little repeat triangle. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Skip 2 stitches, so that's our first stitch, that's our second stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we do another triangle. So that's 1 repeat. You need to do that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. skip 2 stitches, slip stitch into the next stitch. Then we're going to do another triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, there we go. Now this time we're just going to skip 1 stitch and slip stitch into the next. Then we're going to do triangle, skip 2, slip stitch, triangle, skip 2, and a slip stitch again. So basically we're doing 5 triangles along each side. The 2 on the sides, each side we're skipping 2 stitches. The one in the middle we're only skipping 1 stitch. So, and our corners is just a slip stitch into the 2 chain space. So I will work all my triangles all the way around and come back and show you how to finish off. Okay, so I've done all of my triangles all the way around. This is where this little scrap of yarn comes in handy. This is where you want to join with the slip stitch. Okay, we can remove it now. Okay, that's it. No more triangles. Okay, so now we're going to chain 4 starting chain, or a longer false stitch. Then we're going to chain 3, 2, 3, skip the triangle, and in that slip stitch in the middle, in between, we're going to do a half double treble UK or a half triple US. And we do that all the way along the side. So chain 3, skip the triangle, and in that slip stitch, a half double treble UK or a half triple US. I've got a yarn over. Try that again. That's better. Chain 3. So how many times have I done that? 1, 2, 3 times. Four times. Okay, so that's 4 of those repeats. Now chain 3. And in our corner, which is the slip stitch in between these two, you can see it's in the corner here, we're going to do a double treble UK or a triple US, chain 2, and another double treble UK or a triple US. Okay, so that's our corner, and that's our side. Don't worry about your triangles, where they are, we'll sort that out at the end. Okay, I'll do that all the way around and show you what's next. Okay, my repeats are all done. I have my corners and my stitches along the sides, chain 3. So now I need to do a double treble UK or a triple US in the same place that our first stitch is, which is down here. And then we're going to chain 1 and join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to our 4th chain of our starting chain, or our false stitch, if that's what you've done. Find it, there we go. And that puts us as if we're in the middle of a 2 chain space instead of at the end of a 2 chain space. Okay, nothing too hard to go. We're going to do all double crochets UK, single crochets US in this round. The first one is over the joining stitch, so in that big hole, as if it's the 2 chain space. And we're going to do 1 stitch in every stitch, and in every 3 chain space we're going to do 2 stitches. I'm just going to bring it all to tighten it all up a bit, make it a bit more square. So 1 in every stitch, 2 in every 3 chain space. And in our corners, the 2 chain spaces, we're going to do 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So I'll do that all the way around and show you what happens next. Okay, so there we go. I've done all the way around. I just need to do a stitch in the same place as our first stitch, which is here. Then I'm going to chain 1, and if you're not used to my way, not really unsure what's going on, pop a scrap of yarn in the join before you join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Goodness me. To your first stitch. So there's my first stitch. Okay, if you are changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch as normal. Our last round's very simple. We start with a double crochet UK, single crochet US over the joining stitch, which is where that scrap of yarn is. Then we do a stitch in every stitch along the side, which should be 18 stitches. In each corner we do 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So I will do that all the way around and show you how to finish off this one. Alright, I've been all the way around. All I need to do now is put a stitch in the same place as our first stitch, which again is where that little stitch marker is. Then we're going to chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to our first stitch, because that was the last round. That. Right, so this one is going to look best after a little bit of blocking. This one needs a bit of block as well. Okay, so as you can see, they're pretty similar in the Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton and the Cascade Ultra Pima cotton. Probably when I block it, it will be a little bit larger. If you want to make this one a bit bigger, again, repeat the last round. If you want to make it smaller, it's probably best to go down a hook size, because I think the last 2 rounds are really needed to straighten it up and square it off, give you something to block to. So there you have it, Adriatic from my Siren's Atlas collection. Make sure you visit spincushions.com for more crochet fun. Thanks, see you later.